I think I just found a very fast and easy way to get unlimited Dosh in Fantasy Life I. Let's talk about that. So if you're like me at any point in this game, you're probably struggling a little bit with Dosh. However, you can see now I have about 196,000 Dosh, and that's on the low end. I think you really want Dosh in this game to not only buy some new equipment, new resources, but also just to buy blueprints to customize your island. And so I was looking around and trying out different things, and I think I found one of, if not the easiest and best way to earn unlimited Dosh with 100% pure profit. Before we get into that, if you do like this video and this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out and helps make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos. So I think it's important first to understand where you get Dosh. There are two primary ways to get it. The first is by completing side quests. You can see here, every single personal request in the game is going to give you some amount of Dosh. Whether it be 800 Dosh, 600 Dosh, I think the highest I've ever gotten is a 3,200 Dosh. Every single one of these personal requests will give you some amount of Dosh. These are very limited, however, so they're not consistent. So you should worry about the second way to get Dosh, which is crafting. Everything you craft and everything in this game is worth Dosh. However, if you craft items, they're worth significantly more. Take this simple bronze ingot, for example. You can get bronze ingots as early as the start of the game. If you sell 3 bronze ingots, you'll only get 150 Dosh. However, if you go craft those 3 bronze ingots into, I don't know, let's say, let's look at just mining here. A bronze pickaxe. This is a top tier bronze pickaxe. I used 3 bronze to make. I now have something worth 550 Dosh. That is about 400 Dosh more than just selling basic bronze ingots. Therefore, it's very worth your while to not just sell resources, but to craft them into things in order to sell Dosh. Tails. Come on, that's obvious. Everybody knows at this point in the game to craft everything, turn it into Dosh, and then sell it for even more Dosh. However, I've went through so many different recipes and found some of the best recipes that are easy to make, you can make as early as the beginning of the game, and they sell for pure profit in Dosh. So first, let's go over the first one, which you can do as early as Chapter 1. So, right here when you start the game, you'll appear in Eternia Village. We've all been here before. You choose a life, you get to work on different things, you get to sell different things, and you have to earn that 10,000 Dosh for Auntie Anne. However, if you come in here to the Cook's Guild and Restaurant and become a cook, there is a very, very easy way to make Dosh. I, in fact, have found that the easiest and quickest way is always through meals, and that is through this right here. If you make, let's say, a squire sword, you can only make one at a time. You cannot change the amount. That is true for life tools, shields, armor, meals, or objects, materials, and that's it. The two things you can make multiple of are, say, any of these materials here. These potions, you can make a infinite amount. Same with your food here. I, however, just find it a lot easier to make food because a lot of these things you can't buy from stores, or you have to buy them from multiple stores throughout. So, for most of this tutorial, we will be going through the cooking life. If you haven't got the cooking life, check out my other video. It'll explain how to get it and what it's used for, but I find this is the best way to get Dosh. So the recipe we're going to be looking at for Chapter 1 players is the carrot soup. This is a cook recipe 2. I believe all you have to do is become the first level in cook, but I do know for a fact that before you leave this area, you can make carrot soup. In order to make it, you need 2 carrot, 1 milk, and 1 salt. So we can come right over here to this guy, and we can actually buy 1 milk. We can come over here to materials, buy 1 carrot, and buy 1 salt. What that's going to do is that is going to charge you $140. To get 1 of each, it is $140. Now, if you just make into a carrot soup straight up and sell it, you are not going to be making profit. However, as you play the game, which again, you can do all this in level 1, you'll learn that when you're crafting, you can actually make good, great, and perfect crafting materials. So I'll show that off real quick. I just come over here to, say, my carrot soup. I'll make sure to favorite that because I find that one to be one of the quickest. We'll go ahead and craft it. I can only make 1 of these. I do have some buddies here, but even to show you can do it without buddies, I'll take my buddies off, and I will craft 1 of these. all I'm going to do is complete this minigame real quick. Even as early as Chapter 1, this minigame should be no issues for you. If you need to, just level up your cooking just a little bit, which again, you can do all that in Chapter 1. I was able to do all this before I ever left the starting area. And right there, I get a great work. If you don't know what good work and great work does, and perfect, you basically get higher tier materials as well as more materials. So you can see here, all I chose was to make 1 carrot soup. However, because I got a great, I not only got 3 carrot soups, I got 3 carrot soup pluses. And so right there, just from getting a great job on cooking, which is just to be good at the game, I can come over here to this restaurant, and again, just a reminder, I bought all those ingredients, 1 of each, for $140. I'll now come over here to consumables. We'll go ahead and filter by name, just because I find it a little bit easier. And we'll come to Carrot Soup Plus. I can sell 3 of these for $240. That is $240. I bought this for $140. That means, in Chapter 1, all you have to do is make sure you can get a great on carrot soup, which is just by playing the crafting minigame and leveling up your crafting skill for cooking. And I can now make $100 per carrot soup. And you might be saying, well, $100 per carrot soup, that's not that much money. You're right. However, when I have money, I can come in here, I can actually buy 99 milk. Then I can come over here, and I can buy 99 carrots. However, it takes 2 carrots per, but I'll just go ahead and buy 99. However, I would recommend if you are trying to max it out, you go ahead and buy 99 times 2 would be 198. But again, I'm just going to buy 99. And then, same with your carrots, you can buy 99 salt. You can actually hold a total of 999, so I'm just going to make sure to only buy my 99 salt. And right there, I think I was around $1,900 when we started this. We'll come over here, and we'll craft. What I recommend you do at this point is you make 30 at a time. So again, to favorite a recipe, all you gotta do is press right trigger on your controller or the corresponding button on your keyboard, and it'll be here in your favorites. So I'll go to craft. I'm gonna go ahead and add my buddies in this just to make the minigame a little bit quicker. And then I'm gonna craft 30 at a time, because if you do, say, 40, you'll actually get this message. Oh, I guess 40 is okay. You'll get a message that basically says you might lose some if you messed up a spin there. It'll say you'll lose some if you go ahead and craft, so you want to make sure you don't get the message that says you'll lose any. So right there, I believe this will be a perfect job. I get 100 carrot soup pluses. Excess items were converted into Dosh. We can go ahead and finish. And then you can just run over here to the restaurant and sell off all that carrot soup. This will show you exactly how much you made. I just made 79.20 carrot soups. That was off of about 30 carrot soups. So I'm at 1,900 now. Now I'm going to show off what happens if you do excess, because I believe this gets converted straight to Dosh. So if you don't feel like going back to the restaurant every time, all you have to do, you can see here I'm at 1,900 Dosh. We'll do the same thing again. Come over here. I'm at 1,905. Go ahead and buy all the milk. We'll go ahead and buy 99 carrots. We'll just buy 91 carrots because I still have some in my inventory. And then we'll go ahead and buy 99 salt. We'll just buy 101. I was at 1,905. So we'll just come over here. Craft. We'll go over to our carrot soups. Craft. And this time we're going to hit max. I can make 64 total. We'll go ahead and craft now. Should be able to beat this in about 2 games, sorry. I only hit 94%. There we go. That's a perfect. I made 160 carrot soup pluses. Everything except for the 99 you can hold in your inventory were converted to Dosh. So if I just hit finish, then I run over here, and I hit sell to sell off the rest of them. Whoops, didn't sell any there. I got back up to 1918. which is about, what, 05 to 18 would be about, $1,300 just from that. So yes, very, very worth it. You can basically make about $1,300 in profit just from buying 99 carrots, double the carrots, so that's actually going to be, what is that, 198 carrots, then you got 99 salt and 99 milk. Easy, easy money. As early as Chapter 1, just make sure you do a test. You want to make sure you're hitting those grates, because the grates are the way you not only make more soup, but it's also the way you make that carrot soup plus. So if you need to, go into your skill board, grab some of your +5 cookings to make sure you can get it done, and also make sure to get your better frying pan. I believe you can get up to a bronze plus frying pan as early as Chapter 1. But yeah, that is, from what I've seen, the quickest way to do it in Chapter 1. So let's move on to things later in the game. Later on in the game, we're going to have a much easier way to get an unlimited amount of Dosh. First thing I would say you need to make sure you have is the guild hall upgraded. To know if your guild hall is upgraded, you just walk on inside. And as long as you have this crafting table over to the right, you're ready to go. Second thing you're going to want to make sure you have is you want to come to your recipes, and you want to make sure you have the juicy hamburg steak. This is a level 2 cooking recipe. It'll be found right down here, right next to your magical flan or your honey quiche. I went ahead and favorited it just to make this a little bit easier. What you need for this recipe is 2 beef, 2 mutton, 1 salt, and 1 pepper. Everything you need can be bought right here at Marco. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy, and we're just going to buy one of everything. So we're going to go ahead and buy 1 salt, 1 black pepper, 2 beef, because it's a 1-to-2 ratio, and 2 mutton. Right there, you're looking at $100 for mutton, $100 for beef for $200, $30 for 1 black pepper, and $30 for 1 salt, which is $260 total. That is how much we spent. The next thing you want to do is you want to craft. You want to make sure that you are able to get the top tier reward from this. However, by the time you have the upgraded guild hall, I have no doubt that you have a way to get a top tier cooking. So we're going to go ahead and craft just one of these. I'm able to do this in 2 shots. So we'll go ahead and spin, flip, and then do the chop. I can't believe I got 2 spins in a row. And there we go. That should wrap it up. And so the third thing you need is, if you craft 1, you need to make sure you get this screen. You do not have to get perfect. I believe you can still get this on great. You want to make sure you get 4 juicy hamburg steak pluses. If you get 3 juicy hamburg steak pluses, you do technically still make a profit. However, much, much less than if you get 4. So again, we bought everything for 260 Dosh. If we come in here to Marco, and we go over to consumables, we're going to go down to, I sorted by name. We're going to go down to juicy hamburg steak here. And we're going to sell all 4. Because we made 4 there, we get 400 Dosh. That means you're getting a profit of about $160 per sell. Now, that's about the same amount as we got in Chapter 1. However, there's 2 things that are beneficial for this. First, the cook and the crafting table are right here, which is about the same as it was. However, with this recipe specifically, you can hold more than 99 at a time. So right here, I have 177,000 Dosh and 179. So that's about 1771 Dosh. So we're going to come in here to Marco, and we're going to purchase, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and grab, we'll go ahead and get 200 salt. However, because you only craft in increments of 99, we're actually going to bring that down to 198 salt. And then for our black pepper, we're going to go ahead and grab our 198 black pepper as well. Again, it's basically 200. You're just making it a little bit easier for yourself. And then you're going to come down to your beef, and we're going to grab 400 beef, or 396 beef. Again, just because you can only craft in increments of 9. So 396 beef. And then for our mutton, we're going to grab 396 mutton as well. And right here, that is everything you need to make this happen. Again, we were at 1771,000 points before this. We're going to come in here to craft. We're going to go right over here to our favorites. We're going to do juicy hamburg steak. We're going to craft. We're going to hit max. It's going to tell you probably, oh, you might have excess. Are you sure you want to do this? You're going to say yes. I'm going to show you why. It's actually quicker if you hit excess. Because what'll happen is you'll go through this animation. You'll get your perfect or your great. You'll get your 3 or 4 juicy hamburger steak pluses. However, now it's multiplied by 99. So you see there I got 248 juicy hamburger steaks. But you can only hold 99 in your bag. So your excess items are converted into Dosh. And then, because you have even more, you can just craft again. Items may go over the carry limit. Are you sure? Yep. We're just going to go ahead and cook this. Stir, stir, cook, and cut. And this is our second batch. So this is all 198 pepper and salt and all 396 mutton and beef. It will immediately be sold because we cannot be holding on to that much. Then we'll finish. However, this is very important because if you check your Dosh now, you're going to have significantly less. You need to come back to Marco. You need to sell. And you need to sell your juicy hamburg steak pluses. You should have 99 in your inventory. Just gonna select it and sell. You'll see now I have 175,299. That was what? 1 minute of work, and we didn't even hit max in our inventory, and we got about 4,000 Dosh in about 1 minute. It is extremely, extremely fast. As far as I've found, that seems to be the best recipe for me. However, there are so many recipes in this game. If you find one that works better than the juicy hamburg steak, let me know in the comments. I'd love to try it out and maybe even showcase it. And if you do have the best one and I can prove it, I'll go ahead and pin your comment. I think it's very important for everybody to see the best way to make Dosh. There is one final recipe I want to talk about. This is applicable to every player. However, there's one prerequisite. You are going to want to progress your main story until you access the Tropica Islands here in the past. That is after you unlock Faraway Islands and the Farmer, you'll come here to the Tropica Islands, which is where you get the Painter. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come up to this material shop right here. It's right in the top left corner, just directly south of the steel tortoise. You can come here as soon as you get to Tropica Island. So we're just going to run on over there, run past all these enemies. And there is a single... Oh, I took a wrong turn. There's a single recipe you're going to want to buy from this merchant. You're going to want to talk to this material shop lady. And you are going to want to pick up her recipe for the pile of pirate treasure. This is extremely, extremely important. And I hope, up to this point, you have not been selling your treasure bags. If you're like me, you've been collecting a ton of the sack of golds, coppers, silvers, and sacks of treasures. As you can see, I have 11, 26, 12, and 7. That is a lot of things. The only purpose for this is to sell them for Dosh, or so I thought. If you grab that treasure, the treasure chest recipe that I just showed, and you go to any crafting table and go ahead and craft, you can turn a sack of treasure, a sack of gold, and a sack of silver into your pile of pirate treasure. It's 1 per. It's super easy to make. You just have to have your artist unlocked, which is just by completing the Tropica Isles, which is where we were just at. It's where you have to get this blueprint from. So we'll go ahead and just quickly complete this. I don't even think it has to be a top. However, I do believe I'm able to get top. That was actually a really bad one. That was a good. So it might just be a good. We will see. A little bit of a longer one, and this is with 2 buddies. This is a little bit of a more complicated recipe, so I would make sure you save beforehand just to make sure you can actually complete this, because you do not want to waste your treasures. Go ahead and finish this up. I should be able to finish either in this one or the next one. There we go. I believe that should be a good job. Perfect. Well, it surprised me. Right there, I'll grab a top. Perfect pile of pirate treasure. Again, that was by doing 1 gold, 1 silver, and 1 treasure sack. Then we can come in here to the merchant. The reason I say you want to make sure you're converting all this is because if you come to Marco and you try to sell, we'll just go to materials here. We will sort by, we can sort by name. We'll go to S for sack. Looking for our sacks of copper. A sack of copper will be used. You get 500 per. That's not a big deal. However, the big ones here. Sack of gold is worth 3,000 per. Sack of silver is worth 1,000 per. Sack of treasure is worth 5,000 per. If you don't want to do the math, basically you can sell one of each of those for 9,000 Dosh. That's a good amount of money. However, if you converted it to the pile of treasure like I just showed, it will be worth 34,940 Dosh. That is almost 4 times as much as just selling each pile of treasure. So, I highly, highly recommend you hold off on selling all those sacks of gold, silver, copper, and treasure until you're able to grab that recipe. And that's it, guys. Those are some of the quickest ways I found to earn Dosh. Again, just go for cooking. There's so many recipes out there. I'm sure you guys can find even better ways to make money. And if you do, let me know in the comments. And if you found this video useful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like button. It really helps me out and helps make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos. I'll see you all in the next one.